Alright, in my previous email I showed you how to make an attachment in its simplest form. Alright, I mentioned a box that comes up, and why don't I go ahead and bring that box up. In order to do a simple attachment, we hit Compose, come down and hit Attach a File, and I pointed out this box. It's called the Open Dialog Box. I told you that this was part of Windows Explorer. We need to look at Windows Explorer and understand the things that you can do with it. So a little better or a different way to bring up Windows Explorer is as follows. I'm going to hit Cancel. Alright, on my keyboard I'm going to press Flag and the letter E all at the same time. Alright, so this brought up Windows Explorer, and basically think of that as just a way to explore the contents of your computer. And earlier I mentioned if you click on something on the left, you see the contents of that thing on the right. Alright, so these are the items that are on my desktop. Also, something that's very important to get a handle on is how you can scroll within this window. I've clicked on Documents. These are the items that are in my Documents library. One thing that will trick you is not realizing that you can scroll down. So some items are out of sight. So you may need to scroll down to find that thing that you're looking for. Here's Blueberry Pie via copy and paste. We wouldn't have gotten that if we hadn't scrolled down. All of this is out of sight. Sometimes you need to reorganize these items that are in your Documents library or in any one of these libraries. And let's say you remember the approximate date that you worked on some of these things. You can sort these by clicking on these column headers. This column header is date modified, this column header is name, this is type, and then size. Date and type are probably the two most common ways to sort files within Windows Explorer, and this is how it works. Click on date modified, and now we see the oldest files are, I think, are at the top. There's 2013 of August. I guess no, our most recent ones are now at the top. When I click date modified again, now the oldest ones are at the top. This one is all the way from April of 2013. So this is really handy when you know the approximate date, or if your list is really long and you know you just worked on something yesterday, you want your newest things at the top, click this until it brings your newest items to the top. Also, maybe you know that the thing you're looking for is a JPEG photograph. It's not a Word document, it's not an Adobe Acrobat document. You know that it is an actual JPEG. Well, if you click on Type, it puts all the files of the same type together. And here you see Adobe Acrobat, and when I float on it, it tells me that that word that we can't see is document. I want to show you how you can make it display that better. And now then, as I scroll on down, and I'll need to use the scroll bar to do that, you see here are 4 JPEG images all together. So this groups all of your images together. I clicked on one document and then used the wheel on my mouse to scroll up. That's another way to get up and down this list of files. I mentioned that these three dots, that's got a name, ellipsis. Those three dots are an ellipsis, and that's telling you that there's more information there that you can't see. The way that you display that additional information is float on the column header, move to the right very slowly, and when that turns into a two-headed arrow, click, hold down, and drag it to the right. That makes your columns wider. So now I can see Adobe Acrobat document. Alright, I don't normally sort by size, but that's available to do that as well. It's not telling you the size of these folders, but it is telling you the size of the individual files. Alright, let's see. Another thing you need to know about this Windows Explorer box is that this area at the top is called the title bar. And the title bar is any area up here that does not include the minimize, the maximize, or the close button. So I could click right here, that's title bar. Right over there, that's title bar. Why is it important to know what the title bar is? Because you can click anywhere on the title bar, hold down, and move this window around. That's helpful to do sometimes. Sometimes this thing will be dragged way off the screen where you can't see what you're looking for, so you'll want to click on the title bar and drag it over. Alright, again, these are folders. To get into folders, we double click and that opens the folder. More folders are inside this particular folder. The way I would open it is double click. And then we see there are yet more folders inside that original folder. The way we go back to where we were is twofold. If I want to go all the way back to the Documents folder, I click here, or I can go back a window at a time by clicking on the back arrow. Click, click, and click. Alright, I'm going to let that do it for this moment, and we'll get back to more of Windows Explorer in just a moment.